Growing up in an African home, one of the things I wish I had seen more often was unfiltered communication. How the elderly and the young combine their unique levels of knowledge and experiences to tackle complex topics such as weight stigma, postpartum depression, parental favoritism, suicide, sterility, interethnic marriages, and many more. This is what Heart to Heart is all about. Beyond giving an ear to high-profile men and women during one-on-one interviews, its purpose is to inspire listeners from all walks of life with stories of transparency from everyday people who overcame their world by looking within. Welcome to Heart with Divine Keren. Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Heart to Heart with Divine Keren. I am your host for today. My co-host, Khosi, is not present, but he sends his greetings. However, today is the day that I will be interviewing some fellow caliber individuals, okay? I've got a gentleman on my left and a lady on my right. They're going to introduce themselves. Let's go.
All right, greetings all. I am Isakard Chimanga. They said I should tell you something interesting about myself, and I'll begin with the fact that I am single.
Wow, just putting it out there. It is the month of February anyways, so let's go.
Hi everybody, my name is Samantha Budile. Something interesting about myself as well, I am single too.
Amazing. Why are we releasing our relationship status? Anyways, I am also single, and that's actually why we're here today. It is the month of February, the month of love, typically for a lot of people. And today we're just here to have a discussion on what it's like to be single in the 21st century, particularly 2023. Isa, how would you describe your relationship with yourself today?
Definitely Miley Cyrus's new song, Flowers.
Wow.
I would say there really has been a lot of self-love, you know, a little too much self-love, just getting on the board of loving myself a little too much to let somebody else love me. But I think, I am growing and becoming a better person.
I mean, before the podcast started, you and I had a conversation about being comfortable to acknowledge that even though we're single, we do look forward to or aspire for a good relationship. So where are you now within that space? Are you peaceful in your space that you don't want anybody, to shoot their shot? Or what?
That's a tricky question. Look, I'm single, but I'm solidly and peacefully single. It took a lot to get to this place in my personal life, in the singlehood of mine. Yes, eventually, I'd like to get in a solid relationship.
Yeah.
But I think for now, I'm okay by myself. I do not want anybody just disturbing my peace.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you aspire for a relationship, but the right kind, the one that will add to your peace and not take from it.
Absolutely.
Isa, what do you do for a living, and how does that affect your ability to put yourself out there?
I'm an IT guy, so I fix computers and stuff. I think it actually does help me a lot, because a lot of people ask me to fix their laptops, and when I look at it, there's nothing wrong with it. Usually that's a way of them letting me know what's up. So I think my industry really helps.
Wow, so you just fix laptops for free for ladies, maybe?
Yeah, listen, just smile at me.
Oh my gosh. Please don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So Samantha, you're an admitted attorney.
Yes.
That's huge. That's actually very beautiful, and
Thank you.
it really inspires me as a woman. But what role does your career play into your, relationships?
Okay, from my previous relationships, even family members will always tell me, don't bring the lawyer back home. Being a lawyer, it really shapes your mind, shapes how you think, shapes how you reason. Yeah. So it affects a lot of different parts of your life. Yeah. So I have found that in my relationships, my past relationships, that is, some guys have said to me, don't bring the lawyer back here. That's how it impacts my relationships.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Isa? How do you feel about possibly dating a successful woman?
I think it's a great thing. I think it's wonderful. And if anything, I think the careers we choose in life are a part of us.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's fair for me to accept to date you and then tell you not to bring the lawyer home. You know, I would tell you, no, bring it on. You think you're right? You want to argue your case? It's okay. I have facts too. You know? Let's talk about it. Eventually, I will learn to argue like you. But,
oh my word.
You know, so I really just believe that what we do every day is a part of us.
Yes.
And it's you're not bipolar. You're not three people in one. For you to now be my wife and then tomorrow you're an attorney. No, you're my wife whether you're an attorney or not. So that's
Ooh, Issa's getting points for himself. I hope your future wife is listening. Okay, just saying. All right. So, do any of you feel pressured at all to walk down the aisle anytime soon? I'll start with Issa because you're a man, right? And at a certain age, there is like a certain level of you need to settle down now, coming from the community, coming from family. How's that reality been for you?
Oh, yeah, it's been terrible. I am under so much pressure. It's not even funny. And, you know, it's not necessarily from my parents anymore, family. It's everyone, because I was a Sunday school teacher for like 10 years. Even kids I taught in Sunday school are just like, but when are you getting married? You know, they're like, every time, guys, I post I bought a new car, congratulations, when are you getting married? Okay, everything I do leads to when are you getting married. I'm thinking of not posting anymore before people remind me to get married, you know. I
can't even explain that pressure now for people who find themselves in their 40s, in their 50s. I mean, every age group has their own level of experience. But how do you feel about people treating marriage as an achievement?
I don't even know how to answer that question. But I'll just speak from the things that I've seen around me and just my own lifestyle, if I can put it that way. I've seen a lot of people go through terrible marriages. They've suffered through marriages. Some people regret getting married. That in itself says that marriage is not an achievement. If you're not in the correct one, if it's maybe not God ordained, it is not going to be an achievement. And then just from my own life, I guess, there are other things that we can achieve before getting married.
Right.
I think that marriage is the cherry on the top. You know, it is not necessarily the achievement, an achievement. So yeah, I mean, I just don't see it. It's a great thing, but it's not an achievement, you know?
No, I understand what you mean from the point of it doesn't make you any less or any more of a man or a woman. You still have worth with or without it. The only issue that I have, whether it's with relationships or anything at all, money, success, is just when people now obsess over those things that they completely lose a sense of identity. And now without it, it's like you have no value at all. But that's really, really not the case. And I know that we're single and we often hear this from our families. Why don't you put yourself out there? Right? That can, I don't know how I feel about that statement, but in putting yourself out there, Issa, who do you think between men or women should initially make the first move?
Okay, I'm going to be honest and say this, right? We all have feelings, man or woman, all right? If you've got feelings, you put yourself out there. For me, it doesn't matter whether a man does it or a woman does it. You know, we're living in the 21st century, guys. Okay, the same people that say women shouldn't work or study are the same ones that say that women shouldn't make the first move, if you want to think about it, you know? So I say, if you've got feelings for me, it's okay. But be wise about how you go about it, you know? Be smart about it. It doesn't mean you have to walk up to me and say, hey, I'm interested in you, you're real cute. No. All right, so let me tell you guys what happened to me once, right? Speaking of putting yourself out there, I was invited to preach. Let me say that this was a long time ago. Over 5 years ago, okay? I'm a changed man. I understand better now. Anyways, I was invited to preach somewhere and I was alone. preparing for the preaching, and the sister walks up to me, right? Let's call her Sister Hot Stuff.
Sister Hot Stuff.
She was hot, all right?
Amazing.
And she says to me, "Are you ready?" I said, "Yeah, I'm just preparing." She said, "Are you nervous?" I said, "No, I'm not." She said, "Are you sure?" I said, "You know what? I'm a little bit nervous." And you won't believe this, okay? But she sits on my lap, puts her hands around my waist, and says, "Let's pray."
Oh, wow. The audacity.
We prayed. And let me tell you this. After that prayer, 21 people gave their life to Jesus. Okay?
Was it the
21.
Or you motivated by the prayer?
Let me tell you, I finished that preaching on time because I had something to discuss with that sister. Okay? That day was a win-win. Jesus won some souls. I won me a girlfriend. My sisters, don't be shy. All right? Make your move. You don't have to tell me you like me. Just
full disclaimer, you don't have to wrap your arms around him, okay? Just be very I don't know, strategic in your own sense of
what a story.
But speaking of putting yourself out there, what happens when you do and you get rejected? Like, to you, who handles rejection worse between men and women?
I think men handle rejection worse.
Wow, okay.
Yes. And I say that because I've been told by men that they have a fear of rejection. It really bruises their egos. And a certain person told me that if somebody rejects me, if I can just sense rejection, I'm done with you.
Oh.
Like, done. But I think that women are so emotional. If I'm attached to you and you reject me, I will still love you.
Hey.
I can still love you. I can still be good to you. I can still be kind to you. Not that I've been really rejected in that sense, but I think just going both with my nature, even if I had to be rejected, just the simple fact that the foundation of my heart carries a lot for you, I can still be that person. So I think men handle rejection.
I think Issa has a contrary opinion to that.
I beg to differ. I think we get rejected so much, it becomes part of life, So many times you approach a lady in the street, in a party, you make your intentions known, and she turns you down. You just you move on to the next one. So I don't know what kind of rejection, for example,
it would depend on like the depth of
because if I just meet you and I'm hitting on you, okay, you turn me down, that's chill. But if I've been in love with you for 2 years, looking at you from a corner, and I finally say, "Hey, Divine, listen, from the first time I met you," and you tell me, "No, I love Jeremy," that's just an example. There is no Jeremy involved. I'm gonna hate Jeremy.
Are you trying to get me to trouble on TV? Okay. Like, I like what you mentioned about next, sure, it happened, you rejected me, but let's move on. It reminds me a little bit about how dating sites are designed, right? Now, we're Black, we're African, we come from Christian homes, we come from a Congolese community. What is your honest, transparent opinion on dating sites and finding love?
I will say that, look, again, we're in the 21st century, as you said. The internet has its downfalls, its pitfalls, but it also has its pros. Some people have really connected through these sites and through the internet, but for me, personally, it's actually a conversation that I don't even like to engage in because it's just not my thing. It's really not my thing. You can find any type of person on the internet already, just face to face. You find so many different characters. So it's just not something that I don't.
And you?
Okay, the politically correct answer as well would be that, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I've never tried it. If you ask me why, and again, I have friends that use these things. So take it how you want to. I don't care. But if you're going there, you're desperate, okay? That's it. Like, why are you so desperate? Why can't you pick on the sister you see right there? What?
Wow,
no one around you is on your level?
Hey,
please.
It's not even about that. Okay, I've heard from a lot of people who are actually trying these dating sites that it's very difficult to meet young professionals who are, who have the same goals as you, who has the same mindset as you. But I think that goes down to where do you go as a single person and how do you put yourself out there? Because a lot of people say, put yourself out there, but where do you go? Like, as a woman, where do you go? I've heard that, from a lot of young people, I've heard that clubbing is a big no-no.
What else is a big no-no? People don't like meeting people at church anymore. They say that church men and church women are not serious. Work is also, work. So it's tricky.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the issues. We remove all these other places because of stereotypes, which then leaves you with going online and stuff like that. Look, you find someone online, good for you, but don't make churches look like the bad place to go, because that's where I go fishing.
Yeah.
You know?
For souls or for...
For both.
Oh, wow.
Remember, a win for Jesus, a win for me.
I really enjoyed this conversation with you two, and I thank you for your transparency. We're going to knock off with just one piece of advice that you would like to give to anybody who is just as single as you and is either looking or peacefully waiting. Anything at all. Any one of you can start.
I'd say you have to work on yourself.
Okay.
Work on yourself, find yourself, and find your inner peace. Be at peace with where you are in your life. I think that it settles you. Like, it really just calms the storm around you. And if that person has to come in, when that person comes in your mind as well, you're in a good place. In your heart, you're in a good place. Yeah. And you need to detox from all that baggage, everything that you've been holding in your heart. Yeah. I think it's such a hindrance. Yeah. You know, so that's one thing that I can say.
Yeah. Well, you really just took the words out of my mouth.
Or you just saying really, that to say that?
No, I think, in all honesty, a lot of people are too afraid to be single.
Yeah.
Okay. So you jump from relationship to relationship and attracting toxicity, and the cycle goes on. Yeah. Take your time. Yeah. Get to know yourself. Heal. Okay. And when you find that person, don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
The point is maximize, guys, and we hope that you've enjoyed this episode. We wish you a wonderful rest of the month of February. Put yourself out there or just wait wisely. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And cuts. Professionals.
Hey.
Thank you.
Let's open the window for one.